Can we see Mahaprabhu? Hello, 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 hello. Thank you. Dandavat, dear devotees, good morning. Welcome to a new morning readings here in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata. We are making our best attempt to cover Srimati Shileka Didi service by just trying to read the scriptures of our divine masters, trying to do the less offenses as possible. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vrindayai Tulasi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradidemi Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Vamcha Kalpatarubhyascha Kirpa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshat Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're going to continue reading Divine Guidance by His Divine Grace Swami Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Yesterday we were reading that it is very possible for us to lose our track in our devotional life. It only takes karma, good fortune, and a practice of quality to stay in track. But if we, because of our karma, we can get off track because of our karma or bad fortune or because of the practice of our quality. And Srila Gurudev was mentioning too that someone may be in the mud for decades, for years, and still do not make any progress. And that doing something good for the guru or for the mud doesn't necessarily mean bhakti. It could just be pious activities. So he was mentioning how important it is for us to surrender to the guru. That's it. And the quality of our surrender will be measured in the quality of our faith. So we must only pray for that, for faith, for the guru. So that is pretty much what we read yesterday. A devotee was asking here to Govinda Maharaj this type of questions. So we continue reading the chapter Utilizing Our Fortune. So, okay, let's continue over here. One instruction Srila Guru Maharaj used to always give me when I first came to him was, what shall I instruct? You will follow. And what your mind will say, you don't follow. But I thought, my mind is not always giving me bad advice. Sometimes it is giving good suggestions to me. But Srila Guru Maharaj told me not to follow even what I thought was the good advice of my mind. That means you must fully depend upon me. My need is that you must fully depend upon me. Srila Guru Maharaj said in this way, what does your mind tell you? You think it sometimes is good advice and it sometimes says bad. But you're not to follow even the apparently good advice. If you take the association of your mind, you must give some return to him. Therefore, it is not necessary to take association of your mind. Instead, take my instruction for yourself. This is what Guru Maharaj was telling Srila Govinda Maharaj when he first came to the mud. It is a very easy instruction, but we cannot always follow it. Therefore, we receive some trouble. When we forget Srila Guru Maharaj's order, we receive much trouble. Behind this, two things are acting. One is fortune, and the other one is our activity. Good fortune is necessary, and that comes through seva. Good fortune grows through seva. One who can do real seva will receive a good result. However, one who does seva but is always thinking about his own interest must be ignored by Bhakti, and Bhakti will not go to him. He may live so long and stay for so many years in the Gaudiya mission, but he may not get that Bhakti. There are many examples not only in the Gaudiya mission, but such disturbances can be seen everywhere in history. It is present in Christianity, Mohammedanism, etc. And in Hinduism, there are many channels, Sri Ramanuja, Sankaracharya, etc. There is a famous story of how one day Ramanujacharya's sannyasi disciples quarreled over something which appeared very big, but actually was very small. It was a very small matter, but they quarreled fiercely. Someone had moved around the clothes of the sannyasis were to wear. One of them became very disturbed, and a quarrel began. Ramanuja then showed, through the example of a grihasta devotee, how one should serve his guru. In the scriptures we can see this and many other examples. Shankaracharya also showed a similar example. Actually, our spiritual journey depends upon clear consciousness. One who has some clear consciousness from his guru will not leave the track. Otherwise, everyone has some possibility of deviating. One who has some clear consciousness from his guru will not leave the track. Otherwise, everyone has some possibility of deviating. It is necessary to stay within the proper line of knowledge. We must have the conviction, we shall follow our guru blindly. We hear from many places that what our guru gave is sufficient. It is not necessary to take advice from others, and it is mainly very true. If I have no big idea and no big wide vision, then I must follow my Gurudev in a very simple way. Sometimes that will work very nicely, but it's not always true. Because if a guru will say one thing or give one advice, then there is no doubt that if there are 5 disciples, each will take it in a slightly different way. Each of their minds will play upon the idea in a slightly different manner, so they will understand in 5 ways. Maybe in the beginning they were not very different from each other, but whatever small differences exist will become more prominent as it comes down through 3 or 4 generations. By that time, it may even become completely separate from Sri Gurudev's conception. Srimad Bhagavatam has mentioned Evam Prakirti Vachitriyat Vidyante Matayo Nirnam Paramparayena Ke Shanchit Pashanda Matayo Pare. Srila Guru Maharaj has given a very good example of this. Thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. When Guru gives some knowledge, that is thesis. But when that knowledge has come out from Gurudev, an antithesis must also come out from some other quarter. With the thesis, the antithesis will also grow side by side. And synthesis comes when both will come into harmony. The synthesis then becomes established as the thesis. And again, an antithesis will grow to oppose it. In this way, if 5 disciples hear from one guru, 5 kinds of ideas will grow. Their ideas also depend upon their sukriti. If they do not go off the track, we can say they have good sukriti. And that sukriti comes through their seva, their service. Therefore, Srila Guru Maharaj said, what I shall instruct, you follow that. And what your mind will say, don't follow it. Again, the ideas that a disciple receives from its guru depend upon their sukriti. If they do not go off the track, we can say they have good sukriti. And that sukriti comes through their service. Therefore, Srila Guru Maharaj said, what I shall instruct, you follow that. And what your mind will say, don't follow it. I have a question. Maybe Vimal Krishna Prabhu could answer it if he's there. Can one or any dear devotee that is tuned with us to this morning, can we still accumulate sukriti in this lifetime by doing the service and use it in our favor in this lifetime? Like, for example, here, the quality of our ideas that we receive from our guru depend on of our sukriti. Let's say right now I don't have good sukriti, therefore the ideas I receive from guru are going to get me off track. But if I keep doing service, I may increase that sukriti, therefore the quality of my ideas will increase. If anyone has an answer for that, I would really appreciate to read it. I'm going to grab the computer. Okay, in the meantime, let's continue. So Srila Govinda Maharaj is explaining how Srila Guru Maharaj has given a very good example of this verse of the Śrīmad Bhagavatam that has to do with how a disciple receives ideas from the Guru. And the way Srila Guru Maharaj has explained this is by thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. When Guru gives some knowledge, that is thesis. But when that knowledge has come out from Gurudev, an antithesis must also come out from some other quarter. With the thesis, the antithesis will also grow side by side, and synthesis come when both will come into harmony. The synthesis then becomes established as the thesis, and again an antithesis will grow to oppose it. In this way, if 5 disciples hear from one Guru, 5 kinds of ideas will grow. Their ideas also depend upon their sukriti. If they do not go off track, we can say they have good sukriti, and that sukriti comes through their service. Therefore, Srila Guru Maharaj said, "What I shall instruct, you follow that, and what your mind will say, don't follow it." It was for this reason that Srila Guru Maharaj did not recommend us to read many things. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also discouraged much reading. Also, especially for those in the mud, there is no excess time for reading. Our time is all service time. There is no excess time in our hand. So how shall we try to earn other knowledge? And how can we spend our time for collecting that knowledge? Someone is studying in Sanskrit, someone in Bengali, someone else is studying in English, and spending time. They were showing a post-dated check that after getting that knowledge, I shall serve. But before that is possible, you may die. So why don't you think like that? Therefore, Srila Guru Maharaj did not give us the chance to study. At first, Srila Guru Maharaj did give some chance to me because I was unqualified. Srila Guru Maharaj gave me some opportunity to study. But when some proper knowledge came to me, then Srila Guru Maharaj said it was sufficient. It is not necessary to read more. Now you do seva. We try to do seva as much as possible, heart and soul. And we have seen that gradually everything is revealing itself in our heart. We're not trying to collect knowledge from the scriptures. I read Brahma Samhita only a few years ago, but I joined over 45 years ago. It was just during the last days of Srila Guru Maharaj that I read Brahma Samhita. One day I put the question to Srila Guru Maharaj. Maharaj, in which way does the Jiva soul come out from the Tatastha Sakti? I heard the reply many times, but I could not catch it. So I again questioned Srila Guru Maharaj. The creation of the world and the creation of the Jivas, in which way does it happen, Maharaj? Again, please explain this to me. Srila Guru Maharaj said, "Oh, have you not read Brahma Samhita?" I replied, "No, Guru Maharaj, I have not read it." I knew many shlokas from Brahma Samhita, having heard them from Srila Guru Maharaj, but I had not read the book. Then Srila Guru Maharaj said, "Read it, and you will see the answer to your question very clearly explained there in the first section." He also gave a brief explanation. That question was very difficult. The Jiva soul is transcendental, but the Maya Shakti produces material things. Her activity is always within the material world, but the Jiva is transcendental, and Krishna is transcendental. So in which way can the transcendental and material combine together to produce the creation? That was the question. But Srila Guru Maharaj replied this with this sloka. Talingam Vagavam Shambhu. Krishna throws the vision and Prakriti is impregnated. Mayadakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sa Charachakram. Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 10. And in the middle position, that throwing is done by Shambhu. That is his position. Srila Guru Maharaj instructed, read Brahma Samhita. You will be able to see everything explained there. And when I read the Brahma Samhita, I was surprised to see, all knowledge is inside this book, but I did not read it before. The whole of the knowledge that Srila Guru Maharaj has given us, everything is contained here. Then the idea came to me that we must try to publish this Sri Brahma Samhita, and we shall distribute it to everyone. Actually, Srila Guru Maharaj emphasized service to Guru and the Vaishnavas, and by their mercy that knowledge will reveal itself in our heart. We can say that now we know something of the news of the transcendental world. Know means feel. We can say we have some feeling, and by following the process you must also get those feelings. I believe that everyone has some feelings, otherwise they cannot come in this line, especially in the mode of Srila Guru Maharaj, the line of Srila Guru Maharaj. The devotees have feelings, but perhaps they cannot always feel them clearly. Feelings must sometimes come to all of you. Otherwise, it is not possible to remain in this devotional track. But the main thing in the teachings of Srila Guru Maharaj is to serve the Vaishnavas and to follow your Guru. In this way, you will get everything. Many disciples of Srila Swami Maharaj live within his mission. When they came in the line of Srimad Mahaprabhu, they were very fortunate, no doubt. But later, their activity sometimes cost them much trouble. Sometimes they did not know what was what, and sometimes they did not receive guidelines directly from their Guru. They had heard some things but not others, so they lost the proper devotional temperament, and what they were doing began to go in the chamber of karma, but not in the chamber of seva. In that way, they thought, we are satisfied. This is transcendental knowledge. Easily, some of them were cheated by Maya. One who always thinks, there exists more than this, and I need that, and who always tries to search for it and try to get it, such a person will not be cheated. In the time of Srila Swami Maharaj, that I believe it's A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, in the time of Srila Prabhupada, everything went on under his influence, and at that time very few could understand what their actual position was. He told, I am ISKCON, you follow me. And they tried to follow him, but they did not know which part they should follow. This part of that part. As his mission became larger, the devotees' mood of service was not always steady. It was a great difficulty for many of them. Sometimes they were very sad, sometimes very enthusiastic. Many stages are there. The different stages of a devotee, the different stages a devotee goes through are given in the scriptures. Utsahamayi, Ganatharala, Vyura Vikalpa, Vishaya Sangara, Niyamakshama, Tarangarangini. In the beginning, the practitioners feel much enthusiasm and do many types of service, but later their service mood goes flat. Then some wave may come in their mind, and by that wave, some mood of suspicion arises. After that comes some connection with the plane of mundane enjoyment, and, side by side with it, a connection with the transcendental world. They then become somewhat confused, crossing that stage. First, nistha, steadiness, then ruchi, taste, comes, and they gain more strength. And that stage, all hindrances go behind them, and they can proceed steadily. These stages of devotion are explained in the scriptures. So, we may feel or see outwardly that someone may be doing seva, service, but it is not always actual service. Seva gives more seva. So why is more seva not coming? Again, I'm going to read this. So, we may feel or see outwardly that someone may be doing seva, service, but it is not actual service. Seva gives more seva. So why is more seva not coming? Seeing the symptoms, we can say that some were not doing actual seva. Therefore, after the disappearance of Srila Swami Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj, they underwent some difficulty. We must be conscious, therefore, about our position and about our service. Then we will not be deviated from our position. But even if some deviation does come, if we are sincere, we can emerge from that position also. Bhumau skalita paranam fumire vavalambanam dvayi yatha paradanam dvam eva sharanam prabhu. When a baby tries to walk, he sometimes falls down on the ground. But by taking help from the ground, again he tries, and after a few days he can walk very easily. Not only that, but after growing up, more he will be able to run very fast. He gets everything, but first he must try. Otherwise he will not gain anything. When we live within this body, there is the possibility of deviation everywhere. Deviation will not come to attack us if we do not listen to the demands of our mental and physical bodies. Otherwise, deviation is possible for everyone. Thus, the chapter utilizing our fortune ends. Joy, divine guidance by His divine grace, Swami Bhakti, Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Braja Mohini Didi? Yeah. Now Braja Mohini Didi is going to continue reading the Chaitanya Bhagavata.
Dandavat. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. We're in Adikanda Part 1. And I think we're overlapping a little bit some verses that we read already, but I had mistakenly gone ahead and then I went back. So now I'm Catching up. So we're still in chapter 1, text 55. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshurumlitanyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurvabhishta Suparakam Guru Ganera Shisha Sambhushitam Chincha Chincha Samashtaveda Nipunam Shri Rupa Pantanagam Govinda Vidamushvalam Varatanam Bhakti Mitam Sundaram Vanne Vishwagurun Cha Divya Bhagavat Premnohi Vijay Pradam. Yan nama shrutam anukirtayad akashmad arto va yadi patita pralambanad va hancham ha sampadi nrinam asheshamanyam kam sheshad bhagavata ashrayan mumukshu. Even if he be distressed, or degraded, any person who chants the holy name of the Lord, having heard it from a bona fide spiritual master, is immediately purified. Even if he chants the Lord's name jokingly or by chance, he and anyone who hears him are free from all sins. Therefore, how can anyone seeking disentanglement from the material clutches avoid chanting the name of Lord Shesha? Of whom else should one take shelter? So, many of these verses are in glorification of Ananta Shesh. Murdhanyar Pitam Anuvat Sahasra Murdno Bhugolam Sagira Sharit Samudra Sattvam Ananchad Animita Vikramamsha Bhumnam Ko Viryanya Digana Yat Sahasra Jiva. Because the Lord is unlimited, no one can estimate his power. This entire universe, filled with its many great mountains, rivers, oceans, trees, and living entities, is resting just like an atom on one of his many thousands of hoods. Is there anyone, even with thousands of tongues, who can describe his glories? Evam prabhavo bhagavan ananto duranta viryoru gunanu bhavaha mule rasaya shtita atma tantro yo lilaya kshimam shtitaye bibarti. There is no end to the great and glorious qualities of that powerful Lord Anantadev. Indeed, his prowess is unlimited. Though self-sufficient, he himself is the support of everything. He resides beneath the lower planetary systems and easily sustains the entire universe. Shrishti Shtiti Pralaya Satvariya Taguna Yanva Drishti Pate Hoya Puna Puna. Simply due to the glance of Lord Ananta, the three material modes of nature interact and produce creation, maintenance, and annihilation. These modes of nature appear again and again. So I'll read that again. Simply due to the glance of Lord Ananta, the three material modes of nature interact and produce creation, maintenance, and annihilation. These modes of nature appear again and again. So what are the three modes of nature? The three modes of material nature?
Goodness, passion, and ignorance.
That's right. So the activity of creation is considered in the mode of now I'm confused. Creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So correct me, someone, if I'm wrong. Creation would be the mode of goodness, maintenance the mode of passion, or vice versa?
No.
And
maintenance is the mode of goodness.
A mode of goodness. Okay. So passion, the mode of passion is creation. Yeah. Mode of goodness is maintenance, and then of course Mode of ignorance would be annihilation.
Yes.
Thank you. Advitya rupa satcha anadimat mahatva tatapi ananta hoya ke bhuje se tattva. The Lord is glorified as one without a second, and as the supreme truth who has no beginning. Therefore he is called Anantadev, unlimited. Who can understand his ways? Shuddha sattva murti prabhu darena karunaya ye vigrahe sabara prakasha sulilaya. His form is completely spiritual, and he manifests it only by his mercy. All the activities in this material world are conducted within his form. So this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and the following is another verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yanhara Tarangashiki Simha Mahavali Nija Jana Manoranje Hana Kutuhali. He is very powerful and always prepared to please his devotional He is very powerful and always prepared to please his personal associates and devotees with waves of pastimes. Ye Ananta Namarera Śravaṇa Sankirtane Ye te mate kena nahi bole ye te jane Ashesha janmera bandha chinde se kshane Ataiva Vaishnava na chadena kabutane. If we simply try to engage in the congregational chanting of the glories of Lord Anantadev, the dirty things in our hearts, accumulated during many births, will immediately be washed away. Therefore, a Vaishnava never misses the opportunity to glorify Anantadev. Shesha bai samsarera gati nahiyara anantera nami sarva jivera udara. Lord Anantadev is known as Shesha, the unlimited end, because he alone ends our passage through this material world. By chanting his glories, everyone can be liberated. Ananta Prithvi Giri Samudra Sahite Ye Prabhu Darena Shire Palana Karite. On his head, Anantadev sustains the entire universe, with its millions of planets containing enormous oceans and mountains. Sahasra Fanara Eka Fane Binduyena Ananta Vikrama Najanena Aiche Hena. He is so large and powerful that this universe rests on one of his hoods, just like a mustard seed. Indeed, he does not know where it is. He is so large and powerful that this universe rests on one of his hoods, just like a mustard seed. Indeed, he does not know where it is. It's so small and so light, he can't even feel it. This entire universe, resting on one of his heads. Sahasra Vadane Krishna Yasa Nirantara Gaite Achena Adi Deva Mahidara. While bearing the universe on one of his hoods, Anantadev chants the glories of Krishna with each of his thousands of mouths. Gayena Ananta Shri Yasera Nahi Anta Jaya Banga Nahi Karu Donhe Balavanta. Although he has been chanting the glories of Lord Krishna since time immemorial, he has still not come to their end. Both are unconquerable. Ajapiha Shesha Deva Sahasra Shrimukhe Gayena Chaitanya Yaste Ante Dehi Deki. To this very day, Lord Ananta continues to chant the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and still he finds no end to them. Ki ara Rama Gopale Vada Lagiyache Brahma Rudra Sura Siddha Munishvara Anande Dekiche. How wonderful is the competition between Balaram and Krishna. Brahma and Shiva, along with the demigods, Siddhas and Munis, watch in great happiness. Lagbali chali yai sintu taribare, yasera sinduna dea kula, adika adikabare. Although Sri Ananta tries to reach the shore of the ocean of Krishna's qualities, he is unable to do so, for the ocean is continually expanding. Nantam vidam yaham ami munayo grajaste maya balasha purushasya kuto varaye gayan gunandasha satanana adideva shesho dunapi samavashyati nashyaparam. Neither I nor all the sages born before you know fully the omnipotent personality of Godhead. So what can others who are born after us know about him? Even the first incarnation of the Lord, namely Shesha, has not been able to reach the limit of such knowledge, although he is describing the qualities of the Lord with 1,000 faces. Palana nimitahena prabhu rasatale, achena mahashaktidara nicha kutuhale. The most powerful Lord Ananta Shesha happily resides in Rasatala, in order to maintain the universe. So Rasatala is one of the lower planetary systems, where the Earth is kind of in the middle, and then there's 7 other planets. The verse in the translation of the second half of verse 57, the word palana nimitta means maintains. The word rasatale is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the following words. Beneath the earth are 7 other planets known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. Brahmara Sabayagiya Narada Apane Eguna Gayena Tumbura Vina Shane. So again, we did read these verses before, but I'm going to go ahead and read them again because it's all good for us to hear them again. Brahmara Sabayagiya Narada Apane Eguna Gayena Tumbura Vinashane. Sri Narada Muni visits the assembly of Lord Brahma and glorifies the qualities of Lord Ananta accompanied by his Veena. Brahmadi Vivala Yasera Śravaṇa Iha Gati Narada Pujita Sarvashtane. Headed by Lord Brahma, everyone is overwhelmed while hearing the Lord's glories. Narada Muni is worshipped everywhere for chanting the Lord's glories. Kahilan Ekichu Ananta Prabhava Hena Prabhu Nityananda Kara Anuraga. I have thus described a portion of Lord Ananta's glories. Please, therefore, develop attachment for Lord Nityananda. So Lord Ananta Shesha is non-different from Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda is the Gurudev of Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur as well. Samsarera parahoy bhaktira sagare yedu bibe se bajuka nitai chandere. Those who wish to cross the ocean of material existence and drown in the ocean of devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda. The word samsara means like an ocean. If a living entity drowns in it, he is ruined. But if one crosses this material ocean and drowns in the unfathomable water of the service of the Lord, then one achieves eternal happiness. Therefore, one who desires to drown in the ocean of service must take shelter of the eternal lotus feet of the Lord. Vaishnava charane mora e manaskama, bhajiyena janme janme Prabhu Balarama. My only desire at the feet of the Vaishnavas is that birth after birth I may worship the feet of Lord Balarama. Dvija Vipra Brahmana Yahena Namaveda E Mata Nityananda Ananta Baladeva. Just as Dvija, Vipra, and Brahmana are different names of the same person, Nityananda, Ananta, and Baladeva are similarly different names of the same Lord. Antaryami Nityananda Balila Kotuke Chaitanya Charitra Kichu Likite Pushtake. Lord Nityananda, who is the Super Soul, joyfully instructed me to write a book on the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Charitra Spure Yanhara Kripaya Yasera Bandara Vaishe Sheshara Jivaya. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya will become manifest, because his tongue is the storehouse of Lord Chaitanya's glories. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya will become manifest, because his tongue is the storehouse of Lord Chaitanya's glories. Ataiva Yashomaya Vigraha Ananta Gailun Tahana Kichu Pare Padma Dvandva. Therefore, Sri Ananta is the embodiment of Lord Chaitanya's glories. Thus I have described a fragment of Ananta's glories. Chaitanya Chandra Punya Śravaṇa Charita Bhakta Prashade Se Spure Janiha Nishchita. Hearing the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Chandra brings all auspiciousness, but know for certain that they are revealed only through the mercy of the devotees. Veda Guya Chaitanya Charitra Keva Jane Tai Liki Yaha Suniyachi Bhaktashtane. Who can understand the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya? They are confidential even to the Vedas. Therefore, I will write only what I have heard from the devotees. Chaitanya Charitra Adi Anta Nahi Deki Yena Mata Dena Shakti Tena Mata Liki. I do not find a beginning or end to the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya. I write whatever he inspires me. Kashtera Putali Yena Kuhake Nachaya E Mata Gora Chandramore Ye Bolaya. Whatever I describe is only by the direction of Sri Gaurachandra, just as a puppet dances only by the direction of the puppeteer. Sarva Vaishnavera Paya Kari Namaskara Iti Aparada Kichu Nahuka Amara. Let me offer my respectful obeisances at the feet of the Vaishnavas, so that I may not commit any offenses to them. Manadiya Shunabai Sri Chaitanya Kata Bhakta Sangye Ye Lila Koila Yata Yata. My dear brother, please hear with attention the topics of Sri Chaitanya concerning the various pastimes that he performed with his devotees. Trividha Chaitanya Lila Anandera Dhamma Adikanda Majjakanda Sheshakanda Nama. The pastimes of Sri Chaitanya are the abode of all happiness. These pastimes are divided into Adikanda, Majjakanda, and Anshakanda. Adikande Pradhanata Vijara Vilasha Majjakanda Chaitanyara Kirtana Prakasha Sheshakande Sanyasi Rupe Nila Chale Shtiti Nityanandashtane Samarpiya Godakshiti. The Adikanda mainly describes the Lord's scholastic pastimes. In the Majjakanda, the Lord's kirtan pastimes are described. The Anshakanda contains descriptions of the Lord's residence in Jagannath Puri as a sannyasi, and he entrusted the Bengal preaching to Nityananda Prabhu. The Anshakanda contains descriptions of the Lord's residence in Jagannath Puri as a sannyasi and his entrusting the Bengal preaching to Nityananda Prabhu. Navadipe Ache Jagannatha Mishravara Vasudeva Prayateno Swadharma Tatpara Jagannath Mishra was always enthusiastic in following his religious principles while residing in Navadip. He was equal to Vasudeva, the father of Lord Krishna. Tana Patni Shachinama Mahapativrata Dvitiya Devakiyena Se Jaganmata. His most chaste wife, Shachi Devi, was just like Devaki, the universal mother. Tana Garbe Avatirna Hoila Narayana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nama Samsara Bhushana. From the womb of Mother Shachi appeared Narayan. His name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, is the ornament of this world. Adi Kande Falguna Purnima Shubhadine Avatirna Hoila Prabhu Nishaya Grahane. In the Adi Kanda, the Lord's appearance during an eclipse on the night of the Falguna Purnima is described. Harinama Mangala Utila Chaturdige Janmila Ishwara Sankirtana Kari Age. Preceding the Lord's birth, the auspicious names of Lord Hari were heard from all directions. Adi Kande Shishurupe Aneka Prakasha Pita Mata Pratite Kaila Gupta Vasha. In the Adi Kanda, the Lord displays various pastimes as a child. He also reveals his own abode to his parents. Adi Kande Dvaja Vajra Ankusha Pataka Griha Maje Apurva Dekila Pita Mata. In the Adi Kanda, the Lord's parents are astonished to see footprints marked with the signs of a banner, a thunderbolt, an elephant goad, and a flag. The symptoms of a great personality like banner, thunderbolt, elephant goad, and flag are mentioned in the Samudrika. These marks are eternally manifested on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Wherever the Lord walked within the house, he left impressions of these marks, which were seen by his mother Shachi. Adi Kande Prabhure Hari Achila Kore Bandaiya Prabhu Ailena Gare. In the Adi Kanda, the Lord is kidnapped by thieves who become bewildered and return the Lord to his home. Adi Kande Jagadishe Hiranyara Gare Naiveja Kaila Prabhu Sri Hari Vasare. In the Adi Kanda, the Lord eats grains in the house of Jagadish and Hiranya on the day of Ekadasi. The appearance day of the Lord, Ekadasi, and a few Dwadasis are called Hari Vasara. On these days, the servants of Lord Hari abstain from all kinds of activities and vow to serve Hari while fasting. But since the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he did not exhibit pastimes like fasting on Hari Vasara, which must be observed by his devotees. Rather, he accepted various foodstuffs that were offered to him. Adi Kande Shishuchale Kariya Krandana Bolaiya Sarvamukhe Srihari Kirtana. In the Adi Kanda, the Lord tricks everyone into chanting the holy names of Hari by crying as a child. Adi Kande Loka Varsha Handira Ashane Vashya Mayara Tattva Kahila Apane. In the Adi Kanda, the Lord sits on rejected cooking pots and instructs his mother on the absolute truth. Adi Kande Gorangera Chapalai Apara Shishuguna Sangayena Gokula Vihara. In the Adi Kanda, Gauranga displays unlimited restlessness and imitates his Gokul pastimes with his friends. Adi Kande Kailena Aramba Padite Alpe Ajapake Hoila Shakala Shastrete. In the Adikanda, the Lord begins his studies, and in a short time he becomes a teacher of the scriptures. Adikande Jagannatha Mishra Paraloka Vishvarupa Sannyasa Shachira Duishloka. In the Adikanda, Sachidevi laments for both the disappearance of Jagannath Mishra and the acceptance of sannyas by Vishvarup. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Continuing tomorrow in chapter 1, we're caught up to the verses that we had skipped, and we will continue. Sounds like it's the kind of summary of different pastimes in the Adikanda and Madhyakanda and Anshakanda. Okay. Dandavat. Thank you. And Prabhu, would you like to chant Harihara?
Yes. One second, please. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jai Vishipar Pranams Akarajakacharyaya Asura Sadushishma Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaja ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Vishipar Pranams Akarajakacharyaya Asura Sadushishma Bhakti Rakachire Goswami Maharaja ki Jai. Jai Vishipar Bhagavan Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Rupa Guru Varga ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata ki Jai. Divine Guidance ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Tulsi Devi ki Jai.
Jai.
All the holy dhammas ki Jai.
Jai.
Samveda Vaishnava ki Jai.
Jai.
Samveda Bhakti ki Jai.
Jai.
Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai.
Jai.
Morning class ki Jai.
Jai.
Gopre Manande. Hari Hari Bol.
Haribo. Divya Shakti, Divi is with us, Vimal Krishna Prabhu is with us, Bhakti Boni too is with us. Good morning, dear devotees. Very nice to have you here. And yeah. Thank you, Divya Shakti Divi. Next time we will put the Mridanga a little bit further away from the mic. Dandavat.